Hold on, that was so
What the fuck
sad.
is that?
That was so sad.
I'm leaving.
Unfortunately, welcome back.
Sorry, guys. Oh, I didn't mean to do it to you. We're back with another episode of Cripp and the Cradle.
Monday with Moms.
Oh man, you're still really pushing for that.
I am.
Since day
I
one.
mean, the word is not out yet. Mondays with Moms can be a working title, too. It could be a subtitle, even.
See?
I just...
See, I'm liking Gus more and more right now.
That's the thing, though, with, like, the since the beginning of it, I knew from day one that she was going to try and take some executive, decisions into her hand. And she was going to undermine my power.
She writes you off the show.
Yeah.
She finds another kid to do it with.
Right?
Just someone else's child.
I'll find somebody else to be Donovan.
She's going to get
You
my
keep
brother.
the name.
Right? I just find another random crippled kid. Throw him in front of the mic.
She's going to permanently cripple my brother just to replace me.
Oh my goodness.
But we're here with our second official guest of the podcast, Mr. Gus Johnson.
Ooh, you used my Christian name. Thank you.
That's how it's pronounced, right?
I believe it's Gusathier, sort of,
Ooh,
but yes.
that's fancy.
Oh yeah, I think it's French or some shit.
I don't know. It sounds really Viking to me.
Viking.
I'm an actual Viking is the thing, Shane. I'm 50-50 Swedish Norwegian, so that is a true assessment.
Yeah, see that name, like I see Viking in that name.
Hell yeah. Except I didn't do all the pillaging and the other bad stuff that they did. I just
there's still
really
time.
bland food.
There's still time.
There's time to pillage. Yeah, if my career goes downhill out here, I'll come back home to plunder the Holy Lands.
There's plenty of cornfields to take over.
Yeah, you're gonna see me burned out. My YouTube channel is gonna be in the dumpster 2 years from now, and I'm just gonna be hucking corn stalks off in the field outside my house. Just let him tire himself out. He'll come in.
He'll be fine. It's just a thing he does now.
The rest of the Midwest people are just standing out on their front porch of their farms. They're like, what is Gus doing?
We knew it would happen one day. We saw it coming.
Don't look him in the eye. Yeah.
Just ignore him. He's fine. He'll tire himself out.
Well, you guys aren't Scandinavian, correct? What's your nationalities? What's your 23andMe slate?
Oh my gosh. Well, Donovan's different. Myself, my grandmother is 100% English. And
really?
So my dad is English and a little bit of Native American. My mother is Swedish and Irish.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool. Awesome.
So it's just the whitest cocktail you could make.
So yeah,
If you could put all the white people together.
Yeah, that's the entire Bear paint catalog in the white section at the Home Depot, I think. It's just all these eggshell white, soft white, lily white.
You put a cup of mayonnaise into a vanilla pudding, and that's it. And it's funny. My mom mentioned her grandma being 100% English. One of my favorite tidbits about her is that she was in England during World War II as a little child, and she was in 2 orphanages that were bombed.
Well, I mean,
No way. Seriously?
yeah. Actually, she wasn't one of them. She was, at one point she was little, but the second bombing, she wasn't so little. I mean, she did meet my grandfather over there, and because he was a pilot in the war, and they ended up getting married and coming back here. But yeah, she wasn't your typical grandma. I'll give you that.
No, I bet. Jeepers creepy. Yeah, I mean, that's a huge life-shattering series of events to have to go through. I can't imagine that stuff.
Yeah, like most people would walk into their grandma's house and she'd have cookies and milk and how's your day? And I'd walk in and she'd throw a tea box at me for not knocking or something. So.
Oh, yeah, really like manner heavy? Kind of like old generation stuff or what?
Yeah.
Because that was even with my grandpa.
Isn't that so strange? Just like that kind of generation of just that hyper like manners and politeness and stuff, like that's just like going away slowly. Like it's so weird that people used to live by such strict shit like that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I remember being in, I think I was in second grade, and we had dinner at her house. I don't know if it was somebody's birthday or so. I don't remember exactly, but I do remember that I went to get up from the table without excusing myself. And, but I didn't know, but I didn't know I was supposed to, so she made me sit back down and she wouldn't let me leave the table.
And she shot you.
She did not. But I sat there for like an hour until I started crying. And I'm like, I really don't know what I'm supposed to do. Like, I had no clue. Like, it was horrible.
And dude, especially when you're a kid, like that stuff scares you.
Yeah. So apparently I was supposed to excuse myself. And ever since then, though, I do excuse myself from a table. So, I mean, it works.
That's good. She's just she's looking down, just going, I knew it. Fucking you excuse yourself, goddammit.
If you're not excusing yourself, I will come down there.
You just get up from the table, you hear like a giant lightning strike.
You're done. That's it.
Dude. I remember I have two very short memories of my great-grandfather who passed when I think I was about 4 years old. And one of the only, not that he wasn't a fantastic man, but I'm just saying as a kid, here's my one memory of him as I was up at one of the family lake cabins. And I always heard like, there's this, careful of grandpa, he can get a little cranky sometimes. Mm-hmm. And there was a little like bird decoration on like an end table, and I was just looking at it, and he came down the stairs and he just barked at me. He goes, "Don't touch those birds!" And that's the only memory I have of him. I was so scared. Okay. He just barked at me.
Do you think it was because you didn't excuse yourself to go touch the bird?
I think that's what it was. That was it. He knew.
Yeah. It's just
the code.
It's the grandparent thing. But you know what? I don't blame a great grandma for being ornery. I probably would be if I was bombed twice and survived. I'd be able to
yeah, you kind of can do whatever you want. I mean, that's kind of the trump card for the rest of your life. Mom, my foot hurts. Oh, really? Well, I was bombed twice. So how's your foot feel? Ah, shit, you're right.
I was living in orphanages that were bombed 2 times.
Exactly. You kind of can't beat that.
Oh, I'm sorry. You don't want to mow the lawn? Oh, that's cool. Hitler bombed me twice, right?
Like personally, like I knew you were there.
He was there, and he was really angry with his tiny mustache.
And he watched me as I was covered with rubble. I'm just kidding.
Do you guys have any weird family traditions and stuff then, kind of growing up? Just like holiday stuff, or just like things that are like old cultural things? Like I think of when I used to get together with my extended family and stuff, like we'd always do like scavenger hunt shit, which was kind of cool. But then some of the older folks in my family would have us try like traditional, like Norwegian and Scandinavian foods, like lutefisk and lefse. And
what is
like,
any of that?
Dude, okay, lefse. Lefse's good because it's like some light. It's kind of like a light crepe or tortilla with cinnamon sugar inside of it. So that stuff's good. But lutefisk is like jellied, pickled, like a fish. It's like fish oil. It is the most disgusting shit ever. Dude, it's literally like fish jello. It's horrible.
Yeah.
And so we'd have that at family gatherings and stuff.
That's horrible.
That's the one part of the world that I just don't understand, because it's like you have such good dishes in like Mexico, the Hispanic communities, the Italian culture. It's so good, and then you hit that one little section of like the English, and it's just like we have jellied fish, we have blood pudding.
Okay, wait, no, the English Yorkshire pudding though, that is so good.
That do be tasty.
It is so good. And we would have that. That was a Christmas thing. We wouldn't have like ham or turkey. We would have roast beef, and my grandmother would make Yorkshire pudding. And that was always my favorite.
Mom, did we have any
great.
weird family tradition? Like, I feel like you tried growing up.
I tried so hard. And we still do lasagna every year for Christmas, and we all stay at home and watch movies. Because like the thing was, growing up, it's not that I didn't enjoy Christmas growing up. I did. But there was a part of me that absolutely despised it, because when you're little and you open up, like, you know, your Cabbage Patch doll and your glowworm and all of this cool stuff, and you're like, yes, you know, the Barbie dream house, and all you want to do is play with it, but then it's like, nope, get dressed, get your Christmas stuff on, we're going to grandma's, you know. So and that was the worst, because then you went to grandma's, and then you went to aunt's house, and then you went here, and by the time you got home you were so tired you didn't even, you know, get to play with any of your toys. So that is one thing I did with my kids. It's like Christmas Day we didn't go anywhere. Like, we stayed at home. It was cinnamon rolls and lasagna all day, and we didn't go anywhere.
I love that. Yeah. It's like, the irony is, you're supposed to be the greatest goddamn day of the year, and for so many people it's just a bunch of just going through the motions stuff of, hey, look. Like, it's not actually fun unless you're really just home with the people you love, just opening up presents, hanging, kicking, getting good food. That's what it's about.
Yeah, we'd always get like a major Lego kit, and we'd build the Lego kit for like 2 days.
We would do that too. My brother Sven was so into Legos growing up, and we would play Lego Star Wars on the computer together. So we'd like, every year for like 5 years straight, he would get a new Lego ship. So, and especially when he was so young, he couldn't really build them himself. So like, we'd have to sit down together, and I'd work with him, and my dad would help out, and we'd just build this big ship up. It was so fun. It's just fun working on stuff, especially Christmas Day like that, where you're like, yeah, the only thing I got to really do today is put this thing of plastic together and eat some like food. Like, that's pretty chill. That's the best.
We get frustrated at each other trying to figure out how to build a Pirates of the Caribbean Davy Jones Lego ship while...
It was the Black Pearl.
Oh, the Black Pearl. And A Christmas Story is on repeat for 2 days.
Okay, so you're a Christmas Story on repeat, family?
Yes.
It's
yes.
all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Why? I wonder why that became a thing. Like, why is that the Christmas movie that people just loop all day? Is it because they do it on TV or what?
I don't know. Is it everybody, or is that like a Midwest thing?
I mean, it definitely...
I think it's Midwest thing.
Yeah, for sure. Because I was going to say, it doesn't help that it is such a heavy Midwest movie, and we're here in like the core area of which it is in. So it's like just a mirror of what we are all doing. So we just attach ourselves to it. That and A Christmas Vacation. Those two are very, very entwined with like here culture.
Just the sort of suburban family just kicking it, doing some like holiday stuff, you know, like leaving their environment for a bit, especially with all those vacation movies too. I could see that. It's super comforting.
Yeah. And like I my favorite thing with Christmas in the family was my brothers would always wake up really dumb early.
Oh God.
And they would come into my room and they'd be like, Donovan, it's Christmas. I know. Should we wake up Mom? I was like, I mean, if you want, you can try.
You really told them to come wake me up?
It's Christmas. What am I going to do? Tell them no? Plus, it's funny to see you angry.
Well, how early are we talking? Is this like 3 a.m. kind of stuff or what?
Oh, yeah. Like 4:30,
like
5
3?
o'clock.
Oh, come on, you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was every time, every year.
Oh, my God.
I loved it. It was so good.
And then it got to the point when Donovan was about, like, I think 15 or 16. I finally told him, when they come to your room to tell you it's Christmas, open your guys' stockings. I don't need to see that. Just grab your stockings and do your thing and give me a couple hours. Like, honestly.
That's good. Yeah, just tossing scraps to the dogs. There, go. Look, fun. Yay. You go snooze for a little longer.
That's what it was.
Remember the year I bought the boys the Red Ryder BB guns?
Yeah.
And there were like a million dead crows in the yard. The following
I was
week.
like, you're giving a couple young Midwest boys some BB guns. Like, I've been down that route before. Yeah, jeepers.
Yeah.
That was back when we lived on the farm still, right?
Yeah, we were on the farm and there were dead crows and squirrels everywhere. I'm like, okay, maybe that wasn't a good idea.
You know what we always used to do is we'd shoot old pop cans and stuff, but then we're like, yo, let's start shooting some full pop cans, like, so that we can make them pop. I didn't even realize, like, yo, dipshit, like, you can't puncture the can half the time. You're just going to be bouncing BBs back to you if you're shooting full pop
You're going to
cans.
hit yourself.
I had a time where I got hit in the hand after I shot one of those, and I was just like, this was like 2 real world inches from my eye. I don't know why the hell I thought this was ever a good idea.
You're
putting
gonna
a
shoot
kibosh
your
on that
eye
right
out,
now.
kid.
Yeah, the literal, you're gonna shoot your eye out.
It's a
I was
rite of
like, yeah,
passage.
damn it. I suppose, yeah.
When
You're not a man until you've shot yourself directly in the eye with a Red Ryder BB gun.
Well, I pulled a BB out of Zane's butt, I think. Did Tristan shoot him, or who shot him?
I think it was just
Somebody shot.
Butt?
I pulled.
Yeah.
I pulled a BB out of his butt.
Oh, God.
Again-
Yeah, we didn't ever turn the gun on each other like that, but we do that with Nerf guns and stuff, and that was as badass as we got for shooting each other.
It was never done on purpose.
Yeah, I don't think it
but-
was a purpose thing. I think Zane was setting something up, and he didn't think he did it right, so he went back without telling Tristan, and Tristan was like, "Ha!" So
Jesus Christ.
Those two had a very funny type of brother friendship because obviously I wasn't roughhousing with the brothers, believe it or not. But those two, they always did, but it was always saw as, the older brother is the one that messes with the younger brother, right? That's just how it goes. It's the
Legally,
natural
yes.
order of things.
that's
But with them, it was the total opposite. Tristan's younger than Zane, and Tristan would just bully the shit out of Zane.
Well, hold on now. Hold on.
He would.
Hold
he
on.
really would.
Zane was very sensitive, though. I mean, Zane was he was like my little Buddha. He felt everything all the time. And he wanted to love Tristan so much. And even as a baby, Tristan would pull his hair and and I'm like,
He would beat him up.
and at one point when I think, because they're only like 18 months apart, so at one point, they're fighting all the time, and Zane's always coming to me and crying, and I'm like, Zane, at one point, you're going to have to hit him back. Like, I can't keep doing this. You're going to have to handle this. And so Zane went back out there, and I don't know what happened, but he hit Tristan back, and Zane cried harder than Tristan did. He's like, "I'm so sorry, Tristry. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to hurt you." I'm like, this is not going to work. This is the wrong parenting approach.
Who was the biggest rascal of all the kids, though? Like, by far, like, starting shit.
Tristan.
Oh, absolutely.
It
Hands
was
down,
absolutely
Tristan.
It's Tristan.
Oh,
Yeah.
God, yeah. I was meaning to say it a little bit ago. It's so weird and, like, almost poetic how very similar. Whenever I hear you talk about, like, childhood stories or, like, stuff from growing up, it's, like, an exact mirror of growing up here.
Yeah, because I was going to
in our
ask you
family.
which one of you guys were the biggest troublemakers, but like hearing some of your stories and whatever, we had a booger wall.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Did you have a booger wall?
Yeah, we had a
It was
booger wall.
It was so fucking hilarious because when you guys started talking about the booger wall, I was listening to it with my mom, and we both, like, exact eye contact. It was like, what? Really? Is that just everywhere in the Midwest thing? And you
I
have boys
didn't
in your
know.
house? It
Oh
was
my God, it's
so
a plague.
funny.
Yeah.
And my mom
Who did
had,
your booger wall? Because
See-
I goddamn didn't do it. I want to get there on the record. I'm
I
using
don't
every
believe
platform
that,
I have.
though,
My mom is
Gus.
so-
I
You
don't
don't
believe that.
Shane, look, I was 14. Why the fuck would I do that? And there was like a 6-year-old child in my home that my mom heard was wiping boogers elsewhere around the home. Why the fuck would I do that?
my mom
doesn't
is
make any
so
sense.
full on convinced that it is
I
you.
think Gus did
Oh
the
my
booger wall.
God. How dare you undermine my public efforts to defend my name?
It's too late. It's the court of the people now, and you are damned.
But Zane was the booger wall culprit. He did
Yeah.
the booger wall. It was Zane.
Yeah, that was.
He was younger then.
Oh,
Okay.
Well, yeah, he was like
So if history
7,
should
8.
repeat itself, then Shane. Exactly, he was 7 or 8. I bet Donovan wasn't wiping boogers on that fucking wall.
Absolutely.
polite.
if he could have, he
Polite.
probably would have.
Don't throw me
No,
under
he's a
hypothetical.
gentleman and a scholar. He wouldn't dare do it.
Don't you dare! How dare you?
Don't you dare.
And my mom's whole excuse was like, Gus's mom. She says, and I believe her.
Well,
Moms know.
the moms, they know. You have a gut feeling, and when you know that one of your kids did something, you just know. You know it to be true.
You know what? If we're going on the mom rationale here, I will say that my mom is on record after the trial, both on the podcast and on my Twitch stream, as saying, I think I was just being a little goofy for the sake of it. I am 95% sure, her metric, not mine, that it was my younger brother Thor that did it.
That is
So
an
that's
awesome
my
name,
own-
by the way. I can't blame Thor for anything. He's got too cool
I
of a
know,
name.
dude. His name is Thor Olaf Johnson. Doesn't get more badass than that.
See,
honestly.
Viking. That's what I'm saying. Like everybody,
That's
all
just
your
it.
yeah.
I got. I mean, I'm not that I'm insecure about my name, but I definitely got the least cool name of any of my siblings, though. No question. I was Gustav Emil Johnson.
I don't know.
Not
That's
cool.
a pretty cool name.
Yeah, but okay, my middle name is spelled Emil, so everyone on paper thinks it's Emil, like I've got some like Spanish descent in me, which would be cooler than fucking the name that's pronounced Emil, which I don't need to tell you what that sounds like. Huh? Like, what the fuck kind of name? I asked my parents so many times, I was like, why the hell did you think it was a good idea to name me Emil? Like, I am lucky that I got through all of my schooling when no one was calling me like Anus Johnson or whatever the fuck.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, no, they even said, no, we ran it through the test, and we were like, what's something that's not silly? I was, not silly? That's not even a name! You just made up a word!
We ran it through the simulation, and all the findings came back negative.
Well,
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Donovan didn't have a name till like 20 minutes before I left the hospital.
I went so long without being named.
Like I went through a name book. Like they finally brought me a book.
I was
Yeah,
literally
they
just
finally
baby
brought me a
Yoda.
book of names.
What were the front runners then, Shane? What
No,
else
there
was it
wasn't
gonna
any.
be?
Like I flipped through the book. I was like, Donovan. I like that name. That's it, Donovan. Put that down.
Oh, good.
Write that
There's
down.
so many people with like really
a good
beautiful
one.
and poetic backstories to their names. Like my father who fought in every war and saved everybody and from like Hitler's wrath, and he was blah blah blah. So I'm named after him. And it's just like I liked this name. It sounded nice.
They brought me a book of names. It was the
I
first
love
one I
that.
saw.
I'm going to use the Wu-Tang name generator to name my kid.
That's how it should have
Some
been.
random shit. That'd be dope.
Maybe a pet, not a kid.
No, definitely good.
Yeah, you get like Sporky McGee or some shit like that. All right, Sporky it is then. No rerolls. God
That's
damn
what they
it.
said. That's what it is.
Yeah, so Wu-Tang is spoken.
Till this
Dude, if I was going to be a girl, my parents thought I was going to be a girl, not because of any medical metric, but just because my mom's like, I got a hunch, which is really medically sound.
Yeah,
But they were going to
absolutely.
call me Evelyn. So I think that would have been a pretty girl's name. So
That
I would have
would've
been a
been.
good Evelyn.
that is a nice girl name. I do like that one. That's better than
Yeah,
Rachel, Stephanie.
Rachel or Steph. Do you know any Rachels or Stephanies?
Of
Too
course he
many.
does.
Too many.
Of course, of course.
Of course he
Like
does.
it's a
He just
problem.
doesn't care.
My favorite. I have a handful of names that I remembered throughout
Mhm.
my time in life that have stuck with me, and that how did you get this name, and why?
Oh boy. Oh, I know what's coming
Yeah.
here. I know what's coming.
Uh-oh. Hit me with it.
So when I went to high school, they tried an experimental thing where they had a freshman campus separated from the rest of the high school because so they were saying it would stop people from dropping out, which doesn't make sense to me because you're essentially
Yeah.
just going to another middle school and then having to go to high school again. But anyways, my sophomore year, we finally get to the main campus, and we're finally experiencing what high school is supposed to be like. And there was a senior who's, I'm not joking, her name legally was Crystal Meth.
No.
Are
you serious?
I
Yes.
wish I was joking.
Yes.
I
I mean,
know.
I could dig out the yearbook. That was really her name.
And I realized
No.
Yes.
and it was so fucking hilarious every time they had to call her to the main office.
No.
Well, because she was quite the troublemaker on top of it, believe it or not.
Who would have thought that the girl
no.
named Crystal Meth would be sent down a bad path?
And that's the thing. It's like, as a parent, when you're, I mean, not with Donovan so much, but as a parent, you think, when you're naming your child as an adult and as a career and what they're doing, you kind of got to keep that name in mind as far as them being older.
Yeah.
So
You got to think of the whole picture when you're naming that kid. You're naming a kid like Bob or something. That's not little baby Bobby. That's some fucking guy named Bob 40 years from now that you got to consider.
Sure.
Is that going to be, am I making a Bob? Am I doing it?
Yeah.
like, am I going to hire an attorney named Bob? Yeah.
And granted, I've never had to like go through the process of naming a baby, so I don't know the actual technicalities. But I'm assuming you at some point have to run it by somebody who has to like make it legal, and you have to look this person in the eye and say, yes, this baby right here, crystal meth, please. And they're gonna have to.
Was that her first, like, hyphenated name, or is that a full first and last name? And also, was the okay, I need one at a time. Was that her full name?
Yeah, her last name was Meth.
So the family name for generations has been Meth.
Yes.
I'm assuming so, yeah.
That is... I wonder if meth was ever not meth. Does that
Yeah,
make any sense?
I wonder, was meth a
Meth?
thing in like 90? I mean, it had to have been like 90, 91. So I'm wondering if meth was I mean, maybe it was a thing. I don't know.
I think so. I think that at least whether or not just the colloquial term of like, meth was like commonplace enough. Like, I think at the very least, like methamphetamines were like a known used like drug though.
For sure.
You know what I mean? So, God, yeah, that's a rough one.
It'd be great if, like, I this whole time I've been, like, wagging, just joking, laughing about it. And, like, meanwhile, she's like, yeah, my family runs the meth empire. We founded it.
No, yeah, fucking a meth kingpin over here. And it's just something benign like bowling or some shit like that.
And I love that. And, there was another person. It's still funny, but not anywhere near as that. But his name was, granted, it's probably Christopher, but everybody just referred to him as Crisscross. His last name was Cross.
Crisscross?
His last name was Cross.
That's a good one.
It was great.
Man. I've known 2 John Johnsons in my life, and I thought that was as silly as it gotten. My mom knew, there's a person she knew whose last name was Outhouse, and I was like, I'm glad I don't have to deal with that.
Oh, gosh, that would have been horrible growing up. Could you imagine?
Oh, God. Because especially for kids,
Yeah.
like, that, like, day 1 of kindergarten, you know that an outhouse is silly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, you're just like, all right. Like, you walk out in the playground, and the other kids are like, listen, we didn't want to do this, but, like, come on. Like, we have
It's
to.
happening.
Come on.
I don't feel good about this, man, but
But I can't let it go.
it has to happen, man.
See, you know what you did.
It didn't help that his first name was Stinky.
Stinky. It's long for Stan, okay? Just shut up.
It's a
It's
family
like the
name.
Robert... Exactly. It's like the Richard Dick thing. Stan Stinky. Shut up.
Leave me alone. My grandfather was a good man.
Stinky Stanley.
Stinky Stanley.
I don't know. I don't think I'll be naming a kid anytime soon. We'll see.
So outside of the booger wall, what's been the biggest like ongoing argument at your house with
argument.
siblings and mom?
We have so many. I live in a family of little mini Larry Davids running around, just making big deals out of just the dumbest shit ever.
Oh,
for
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
We have. It is a consistent series of arguments, and it's a 2-parter. It's in the breakfast division. Is who the hell left like a half a centimeter of milk left in this jug and didn't rinse it and recycle it, and who the hell is just putting fully crunched up cereal bags back into the boxes, neatly packaging them, and just putting them back on the shelf.
The empty boxes are the worst, yeah.
It's like that takes more work than just throwing the thing into the garbage. Jesus Christ. So we're trying to figure out who the culprit is on those ones. I think it's Thor again, just on the warpath.
Yeah,
personally.
just if he's
You need to quit blaming Thor
he's
for
already gotten
everything.
away with the booger. Well, he feels invincible now.
Exactly. There's no telling what this kid's gonna do now. You can't stop him.
He's not being held accountable for his actions, and it's just you're sending him down a bad path.
Exactly. Got to get ahead of it.
And
Oh man, dude. we used to fight about the dumbest stuff. Like we had, especially too, like there are so many things that are just completely commonplace for just like the way that I grew up that realize sounds so objectively ridiculous to like just anybody that like when I go and I share about like some of the chores we had growing up and just some of the like things that we do to like kind of save money and stuff, they sound so silly, and then I just forget like, oh, other people didn't do this. Like we have a dryer in our house and we like never ever use it. We hang stuff on the clothesline, which is not weird
in the summer
in and
and
of
spring,
itself,
absolutely.
yeah, like that's like the normal part and stuff, but like and you know, my mom will go so far where I respect the hell out of her more than anything, but it's just such a non-traditional way of doing stuff where it's like I know for a fact my family in my entire 25 years has never once bought like a washcloth or a rag ever. We will just use old socks, and my mom will just rip holes in them, and that's like every inch of that house I've cleaned with an old sock, or even old underwear.
I will cut up old T-shirts.
Yep.
All my rags are old T-shirts that the boys either stained or don't wear anymore, or are too small, or I have like pit stains. I'm like, I could just cut those out. I can use that for a rag.
Dude.
Oh yeah, I still find myself doing that. I instinctively, if I'm folding socks and there's a sock with a huge hole in the heel where it's just like, listen, I've convinced myself this was still okay for a while. I gotta just put this poor thing out of its misery. I'll rip that sock hole out and then I'll like go dust a couple of surfaces with it. I gotta do it.
Hey, we got a new rag. Down the sock, up a rag.
Yep.
There you go. Upgrading.
It's every video that I've seen that has your mom in it. It just very much reminds me of my mom and how she'll end up being whenever my brothers and I are just like goofing around and riffing, you know? Like, your mom seems like she can hang and be funny, and I like that.
She's great, and she's great because she is so good at both giving the illusion of being completely aloof, you know? Like, where she's completely in on it, but then will often interject stuff where she's not acting, and it's just, and it fits perfectly and unnoticeably in line with her already being self-aware of that. Like if we're out and we're filming, like I do a series called God's Country. I don't know if Shane, if you've ever seen any of those too, but I just go out in the yard with my mom, and I'm just drinking the whole time. So I've got a couple of big cans of beer, and I'm just kind of sloppily just guiding my mom around the yard, and she's just filming, like she's behind the camera, so it's just a conversation back and forth with her. But the ongoing joke is that I'm obviously just this kind of drunk idiot son, and I'm getting frustrated at her for the most like innocent, simple like request, you know, like, honey, stop, you're spilling it. Shut up. Just like that kind of dumb.
Yeah,
you know,
I
like,
feel that.
Where are you leading us, Mom? What? Don't stop. You know, like that kind of. But like, so she's so in on that. But then I'll say something like, yeah, God damn it. Oh, honey, don't do the God thing. Like, she's not playing it out. Like, she actually is like, oh, honey, don't say that. Like, and it's just like, Mom, I just got done saying shit and fuck, and I was fake peeing over it. Yeah, exactly. So it's so funny when she draws the line.
There's a line.
But I don't know. I love shooting stuff with her.
And you know what? That actually leads into a portion that we have here during our little shindig, where we take upon other people's little problems with, or little petty debacles, arguments with their mother, and we kind of give our input. We see if the kid's in the right, the mother's in the right, or if both of them are just being stupid.
Beautiful.
And
I love it.
So
I feel like I'm gonna be like overruled though.
I mean, not necessarily. We like to play it fair for the most part.
If anything, too, Shane, this might be your most level playing field with a guest, because you're talking to somebody who films an extensive amount of his content with his own mom too.
See?
So
That's true.
I'm willing to hear people out.
I will do my best to be unbiased, but I will admit, Mom, you're just the worst sometimes.
You're not mincing words here, are you?
Okay, so we asked people, I asked on Twitter, send me your little petty arguments and stuff with your mom, and we'll, see if we can settle it. And the first one we have here is from Cole Most Wanted. He says, senior year, I put effects of weed on a Snapchat post with me with a wig on shooting a video. My mom screamed at me for 3 minutes about acting professional online, and I recorded the whole thing. That's where the tweet ends, so I'm going to assume that it's just that scenario.
Okay, well, there's not enough information there. For one, I mean, how good was he doing in school? Was he up for scholarships? Would that have, damage potential opportunities for college? So, I mean, I have a lot of questions. I can't decide on that one.
I think I'm a little biased because I want to know, I feel like this is the most important factor, if it was actually funny.
You should have linked the video.
Oh, absolutely. You know what? I would also love some more intel. But if I'm led to believe this correctly, so this is somebody that was still at least high school or less, correctly?
Yeah,
like
senior
18
year.
Or less?
Yeah, senior year.
And they were doing the posting effects of weed. I mean, honestly, this is not. I want to say this for the record. I am not trying to mommify my answer here. This is my honest opinion.
Genuine.
Is I know that if I would have done that, my mom would have done that as well.
Oh, yeah.
And again,
I would have
depending
done
on the
more than
situation. Oh, yeah. I mean, my mom definitely probably would have been super livid. She would have absolutely taken shit away from me for a long time. I'd probably lose privileges and stuff. But, like, I do think, though, that in this situation, I don't know if mom's the most inaccurate. I don't think that that's the most bad thing to do at all here. Like, you got a kid that's not even in the world yet. And as much as I 1,000% agree that marijuana should be legalized completely, no question, like, it isn't. And you put that into a world where it's going to have repercussions for you. I mean, you're an underage person who is, even if it's legalized, it would be illegal for you to consume that, I would see it as a thing of a parent as like, this is so completely unnecessary. Like, whether or not the kid actually like smoked with his buddies or whatever, anything else. Right. But the fact that you telegraph it, it's like, listen, unless you're like, have very clearly established that like you are going into entertainment and it has already started working out for you, you can't be as cavalier about like, look at me, I'm fucking smoking and I'm a kid, you know what I mean?
Because I know there's been kids that I personally know that have lost scholarships for just being pictured with a Solo cup.
Yeah, me too. I've known it too. Exactly. Kids at parties that I've known situations of people that, again, everyone will be like, well, I wasn't drinking. But, like, knowing the people involved, like, yeah, I really doubt that person was drinking and shit. I've seen people get kicked off sports teams, lose scholarships and opportunities and stuff. Like, it's an absolute reality, And at the end of the day, as much as people want to protest some of that shit, it's like, hey, listen, it was avoidable. Like, you didn't have to post stuff like that. There's doing and then there's broadcasting. And that is avoidable almost every time,
And also, I think another important thing involved with this particular one is if it was sent to friends versus the entire everybody can see. Because if it's just friends goofing around, I've definitely done some stupid stuff with just sending it to my friends, and I know it's safe for that, but I think even back then I would have been hesitant because I knew, like you said, if my mom sees this, she's gonna snap.
There would have been more than a 3-minute yelling if it was my kid, honestly. For sure. It would have been bad. So
I think this one we all collectively agree, the mom's kind of in the right a bit here.
Woohoo, mom! Mom won.
I'm going mom on this
Next
one.
Yeah, I'm going mom. Unfortunately, I'm all for the humor. I am. I get it, but I also you gotta be mature at some points in time. You gotta know when. The time and
place. Exactly.
The next one comes from Albert Hansel.
Oh.
Ooh.
He says, my mom always asks me to do a little more around the house, but when I stack the dishwasher after dinner, she sometimes accuses me of wanting to leave the table early. This is a very pressing and serious matter. What do I do? Now...
Well, we have to default to Shane on this one, who's the clear resident expert of leaving the table on time.
Right.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, if you were done eating and you're clearing your own plate, I mean, I don't feel like, I mean, obviously you have to excuse yourself. Obviously.
Yeah, if you don't, you get
We
shot.
established that earlier.
If you don't, you will die on the spot.
Yeah.
But once you have excused yourself, if you're done eating, I mean, I don't want you to sit there and just watch me eat. So, I mean, if you're going to do the dishes, go do the dishes.
Yeah, honestly, like, and again, like, I hope I have all the info on this one, but I'm sorry, am I led to believe that the mom is mad at the kid for taking the initiative to do the dishes?
Right.
It kind of sounds like you're really biting the hand that feeds you there, Mom. Like, that's, knowing as a former kid myself here, I feel qualified to speak on this. Fucking hate doing the dishes. Nobody wants to do the dang dishes. If the
Nobody
kid's
will do
doing
the
that,
dishes.
let him go.
Yeah, I
I don't
agree.
care if it's the middle of it, you're scooping Brussels sprouts on his plate and he leaves you hanging with the spoon in the air. That kid's doing the dishes. You just cook for 2 hours. You don't want to do that afterwards. Let him go.
Exactly.
I agree.
That one's a little weird, right? Because I can't imagine a scenario where somebody's like, are you really doing the goddamn dishes right now? Right now?
What's that behind your back? Is that Dawn? Give it to me, damn it.
Right here. Go to your room.
Do you have my dish
Is there
gloves?
more in your room? Yeah, have you been taking my steel wool brushes?
No, Mom, I'm holding it for a friend, I swear.
Yeah, what's his friend? Is this the friend that gave you those Lysol sponges the other day too, huh? No.
God, I knew it was going to be you. I knew it. I've been scared.
I've known your whole life it would be you.
Yeah, you're a dishwasher.
It starts with dishes, and then you're going to do laundry.
Pretty soon you're going to be sweeping the floor.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
All right, so that one,
Oh, my God.
that's a point for the kids. Kid wins that one.
Good point.
Yeah, okay.
Good
One
point.
and one.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next one comes from, I love this name, Diddy Dan.
Diggy Dan?
Diddy Dan.
Diddy.
Yeah.
Like do the
Dang.
ditty? Like the song?
I
love
from the 1920s, you ancient
The
woman?
90s. Come on now.
They say, my mom gets really mad at me for licking the Cheeto/Dorito dust off my fingers, which upsets me quite a bit because there's no other efficient removal technique unless you want me to wash my hands. An absolute and total buzzkill after enjoying a nice bag of Doritos and or Cheetos. Mom, if you ever yelled...
You know what?
I-
Once again, I need more information.
What more
What
do you
kind of
need?
Dorito? Was it fiery?
No.
Yeah, right. Was
Okay,
it-
is it
Cheese.
my mom brain is like, are you the first child? Are you the only child?
What does that have to do with
And
it?
because you're first or only, you're on them about everything. And it kind of slacks off. Like I was so strict on you with everything. And then Zane, I was like, oh, kind of eased up a bit. Tristan, I'm like, yeah, Zane and Donovan's got this. Kane, he's raising himself at this point. So,
He's raising Cain. Gotcha.
yeah.
Just had to get that in there. Sorry.
Hey,
Go
let's
ahead.
get one.
So I kind of
love
feel
it.
like maybe he's an only child and his mom needs more children.
That's the solution. If your mom is yelling at you for having dusty Cheeto fingers, just look her in the eye and say, "Mom, have more kids."
Yep, absolutely. Because those things won't matter anymore.
Exactly. I mean, I don't even know if I can weigh in a parental sense. I just know personal preference wise, as I've gotten older, I've gotten a little bit more squeamish. And honestly, I don't like getting that shit on my fingers in the first place. Like, it's so
Yeah.
gross to me now.
Yeah.
I've done such a 180 in my adult life. Like, I used to be that kid. Yeah, like, hell yeah, let me lick those fingers. Hell yeah, let me suck that whole Gogurt tube down and fucking, like squeeze it out on the edge of a desk and stuff. Exactly. But now, I don't even get that stuff on my fingers in the first place. Like, I will try as often as I can to just dump the chips into my mouth if it's acceptable. I just don't like having that gunk on my fingers and shit, let alone licking it off. Ugh,
Yeah, I agree with you.
ain't for me.
Yeah, because I think at a certain point when you are going through your childhood, teen years, it's that I don't care, it's whatever. But like you said, I've gotten really even before everybody was like, you have to wash your hands every 2 minutes, otherwise your grandma's gonna die.
Yeah.
Like my brothers were the worst. So because I obviously need help with like things, and they had to touch stuff, and oftentimes when they would help me eat, I know that these kids are not washing their hands, and I can.
Oh no!
So like, if I'm like, hey, can you give me, just like I don't even know, like, can you give me a drink? I have a straw, and they have to touch it with their hands. Then I see that Cheeto dust, and they like, yeah, hold on, and they suck their finger, and then go to touch something. I'm like, no. You go in the bathroom, you wash your hands. Like, I'm a stickler with that too. So,
dude, I've found myself getting to be almost more of a germaphobe again, like pre-COVID even, like just as I've gotten older. Like, not that it is actually like significantly affecting my life at all, but it's like, you better believe that I am always cognizant of like, hey, what hands have I used to touch what? This is my cleanish hand for these activities, and that category will shift as the time goes on here. Like, oh, I saw that person didn't, especially in other people where it's just the little stuff of like, hey, I saw we came back inside, and I know we were just out on those electric scooters, and didn't seem like you're intent on washing your hands. So I don't want to have to tell you that, but I wish that would have just clicked already for you. Like, stuff like that, like.
Oh, for sure.
You gotta be mindful. Keep you on your toes.
Absolutely. So just wash your hands, basically.
Wash your dang
But
hands.
Wash your
Yeah,
hands,
there you
man.
go.
Keep. You know what it is? I'll even level. Have a designated dirty hand. Only
Yes.
only
One hand, one dirty hand.
yeah, but you have a dirty hand and you have a clean hand. God gave me two hands for a reason. My left hand is my dirty hand.
Don't touch anything with your left hand.
If you see my left hand, stay away from it. That's a biohazard.
Biohazard.
My right hand, though,
It's a Dorito hazard.
that's my good hand. That's my handshaking hand.
Wait, your Dorito hand's your handshaking hand? No. No, it's for handshakes and Doritos only.
Strictly. So this one, it feels a little mixed, but I think we're leaning more so in the direction of be considerate if you're having to interact with other people with your hands. But if it's just by yourself in the comfort of your own home, I'm saying tell your mom to have more kids and shut up.
That's it. I agree. Have more kids.
So that one's kind of in the middle, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
I'd say so.
Have a point each side. All right.
Dang.
Uh-oh.
We'll do...
Here's the tiebreaker.
This one comes from Mackenzie. And it's a quotation, I'm assuming, from what is said by the mother.
Okay.
I told you about this last month. How can you not remember? You are so guilty of this.
No. Finish the
That's it.
question.
No, that's it. That's
it?
Yeah. And you do that so much. It is probably one of my biggest pet peeves with you because how do you expect?
Is this whole show just to get third parties in to weigh in on like domestic disagreements?
Yeah. It's just my
okay, thanks for
therapy.
coming, show. Anyway, Gus is on the show. Listen, so I said this. All right, hold on, we're 10 seconds in.
Gus, help me out here.
Gus, you gotta take my side. I'm the mom.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey.
I love that little frog.
I don't know. You know what? I don't even know. I'm going to go non-mom division and go to more partner division, but I've certainly heard this before. Like, I told you this. And I was just like, dude, I don't know. Like, I know, I'm not even denying that you did, but I'm just telling you, I just completely did not retain this.
Mm-hmm.
And I did not mean to disrespect you, but it just didn't click. Like, I found it so hard to like tell other people, just like, dude, I'm so sorry. Like even if in there, because the thing is too to keep in mind, it's like that person remembers the situation around them telling you that.
Oh yeah, they remember like what was on TV or what music was playing or where you came home from. Yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah, and also it's not only the situation that they remember, but it's probably the idea and the thought. It's like they probably didn't think of it in the moment. They were probably depending on what the situation is, whatever thing that they told you, it was probably on their mind for a while and they were thinking about it a lot. So then they're going into that with the assumption of like, how could you not? I remember I thought of this and I talked and that was on TV, like you said, but to you who didn't hear it, you had your own shit going on, and then this just came in, and to you, it was a fleeting moment of something. Like,
for sure.
Hey, here's this bit of information. Okay. Maybe you were texting somebody at the time, and you didn't get it. So both parties are just like, I place way more importance in this, and then we just didn't connect, and now we're both frustrated.
Yeah, and as a mom, though, if I'm telling my kids something, I know better than to tell them a month in advance. That's just silly.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly.
You're just asking for problems.
Yeah, you're asking for them to forget and to start an argument. If there's something going on, I give them a week and I let them know, and then I'll let them know, 3 days beforehand, and then 2 days beforehand. I'm like, all right, here's your uniform. We need to leave at this time, and blah, blah,
Mm-hmm.
I would never tell one of my children a month in advance about anything.
Yeah, I need constant reminders all the time.
Oh, absolutely, dude. I do. I mean, I'm seriously, though, too, like, I'm the world's worst person with that kind of stuff. Like, my brain and my attention span is just so bad that like you could be sitting in a room with me and it's just us and I'm not even on my phone, but I might be doing just something like looking at the carpet and just thinking about, and you could tell me slowly and directly something and I would not retain a single word of what you said. Like, it's shit like that. It's so bad for me, especially like object permanence when I'm like moving around or if I'm getting ready to shoot a video or something. It's like I'll pick up the tape and I'll set it on like a counter and it will essentially disappear from existence forever.
Oh my God.
Like I'm not going to find that ever.
Yeah. Zane's the same way. That's my Zane. He's absolutely the same way. Like, Donovan would ask him for a straw and Zane would leave the room and come back 20 minutes later with a spoon. And not even,
Yeah,
and it wasn't that he did it
exactly.
on purpose. He didn't. He just, he has that attention he just has so much going on in his little artistic brain that he doesn't retain anything more than a one-step direction half the time.
Yeah, you're so right. I mean, it will be, my mom when I was a kid, like she used to say like, oh yeah, you got looking disease. She called it looking disease. I was honestly too, like, I'm not trying to be somebody that is trying to do some flippant self-diagnosis though, but I'm absolutely convinced that I have to have like ADD or something like that. It is, I've noticed it so much, especially like in my adult life, but it's really been present my entire life where I absolutely cannot focus on stuff. Like, I can't listen to multiple pieces of music I'm not a guy that can listen to music even without words and do any kind of homework, even if it does involve other words. I just can't do that kind of stuff. I'm so focused in, I just get absolutely destroyed with test anxiety. And like, I'm not a dumb kid, like I know my shit, but the fact that you just have to say like, sit down, pick up the pencil, focus in on this thing one by one. Like, I would have
to cover most of Zane's assignment. Like if he had a whole page, I would have to cover everything but the one problem because he would be overwhelmed by all the problems. He wouldn't focus on just one. I would have to turn the ceiling fan off because that would distract. I'm like, okay, you know what? Here's your little quiet silence room. Here's the one question. Just answer this, And that's the thing. Like he's brilliant in his own way. He's absolutely brilliant. He just learned in a different way than traditional kids or traditional learning.
Mm-hmm. No, that's totally right. And again, it's like, I mean, it's no secret, and I'm sure you, as me knowing nothing as not a parent, but I'm sure you've probably had so many instances growing up of just different areas in the education system where it's just like, hey, listen, this is really fucked. Like,
absolutely.
It's just like kids are not given the proper attention in certain areas. There's very much one style of learning, one way of doing things, and if you don't fit into that square hole, then you're fucked. You know what I mean? Yeah. I firmly believe kids are meant to get up way too goddamn early to go to school. They've given an unreasonable amount of extracurricular work, and the deadlines are so asinine. And a lot of the times, teachers are wonderful people, but depending on the student situation, there just might not be as much recourse for trying to get the help that you need. Just the style to be taught differently, and especially, like I come from a rural area, I know how limited the U.S. education system is, regardless for these different types of learning styles, especially in a place where there's, 60 goddamn people in my graduating class. Like, you think in any way we're getting any form of innovation here? Like, this is very much like 40 schoolyard teaching. Yeah.
Exactly. And that's the thing. It's just, it needs a whole big overhaul.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. But I'm just glad I made it out. Jesus Christ.
I'm with you on the whole not being able to really multitask and that sort of end without it being like anxious. Like I get really overwhelmed and flustered, It really shines through whenever I'm streaming a video game in particular. Like,
oh, really?
On Twitter. Oh, man. I get so anxious because I feel... I know there's not, like, official rules on, like, how to stream. It's obviously subjective, but I feel so weird about people being in a chat that is watching me, and, like, I feel like they need attention, but I'm also playing a game, and I'm like, I'm gonna get to what you're saying in a second.
Oh, you know what? Next time, let me answer them. You play your game, and let me answer the people on stream.
There you go.
There it is. It's a team effort.
Streaming with Shane.
Yep.
Right after Mondays with Mom.
There you go. See?
Gus, listen, you were supposed to be on my side.
I was like,
Gus totally likes
more
me better.
Convincing work for you.
Gus totally
it's easy
likes
for
me
to
better.
It's so easy for me to just pop in and be like, "Hey, here you go, Shane. Here's a bunch of ideas. All right, later I'll." And Donovan, you have to like. Oh, anyway.
She's gonna bring it up every day. Like, we should do that thing. Yeah, we should. Do it. Yep. Mm-hmm.
I'm totally answering next time you're streaming.
I love it.
Okay. Last thing before we sign off.
Okay, what's up?
Because this is probably the biggest petty argument between my mom and I, Gus.
Uh-oh.
And I need you to settle this. And actually, I want to start asking this to every guest that we have on because of how important it is to me.
Okay, and we're going to keep score because I know where this is going.
Sure.
Gus.
Think about it, Gus.
Donovan.
Don't just answer it. Think about it. Like, give it some thought.
Jesus Christ.
Okay,
I feel
go
like I'm
ahead.
in an office trying to pick who I'm supposed to live with here. Jesus Christ.
Do you want to live with mom or dad?
What do you got?
We're getting divorced.
Donovan,
It's your
what's
decision.
All right, what is it?
When you think of SpaghettiOs,
Okay.
do you see it as a pasta and sauce dish, or is it a soup?
Well, it's definitely not a soup. I'll tell you
You are out of your goddamn
I
mind.
win.
What?
You were out of your mind.
Wait, Donovan, you're soup gang?
You were out of your mind.
It's called SpaghettiOs.
Right?
That's...
Gus.
I'm sorry, Donovan.
Listen.
Again, toss this onto the pile of work you got to do after I get to just conveniently sign off.
Do you know, Gus, this has gotten so bad that we actually called the 800 customer service number on the can of SpaghettiOs and asked the customer service people.
Yeah.
What did they say?
And that's the thing. That's what makes it so fucking frustrating, Gus. We called the first time on stream. And this lady, God bless her heart, She heard us out, she heard our arguments, and she was like, I mean, yeah, I agree that it's more along the side of a soup. It's because it...
What?
Yeah, but then we called back and the girl said
Because-
pasta. And then we called back and the other one said she didn't know.
Wait, how many times have you called the SpaghettiOs?
Well,
Listen,
we were
Gus,
doing the
this
best
is
out of three,
serious.
basically. We were giving them the benefit. But then it turned into this whole thing. Like, then... How are these customer service people trained? Because none of them answered the same way.
None of them
They
have a
all answer
consistent
differently.
answer.
Yeah, well, I'm sure they probably haven't specifically been trained to be like, all right, so you're going to have a lot of fucking people just calling in asking about whether or not this is soup or not. So we developed protocol around this.
Gus.
Boy.
But I'm just happy that I won. I won that
No.
with Gus.
I'm going to lay this out real quick. You have... you go to a restaurant, right, Gus?
Yeah.
If you ordered spaghetti and the sauce came back with the consistency of SpaghettiO sauce, Are you happy with that? And saying, yeah, this is spaghetti. Granted, I know they're different. They're different dishes entirely.
You know what? If anything, Donovan, I do not mean to insult you, but I would argue that theoretical situation is only more evidence in the other direction. I would just say, well, yeah, it's just watery spaghetti, though, is what I'm saying. Like, the consistency of the sauce, to me, is not the determinant into whether or not it is in soup territory or pasta territory, but it is the content around it. It's the idea that, well, listen, there's hunks of meat and stuff in here, which I know there's hunks of meat in other soup and stuff, but I mean, it's kind of designated around the idea that it's, again, spaghetti. You know what I mean?
And it's sold.
Spaghetti. And there's so much of it. It's not like if it was a soup, there'd be other shit in there, I feel like. Unless you think of like Campbell's regular ass soup.
Yeah,
I'm just getting down the rabbit hole.
Do you know,
Nope, it's too late. You already answered.
No, but
Thank you, Gus.
God.
Thank you.
I mean, I'm not changing my opinion, honestly.
I know.
That's pasta.
That's fine. But, I mean, it's, it's made by Campbell's. That's all I'm saying.
It's sold by the Chef Boyardee pasta,
I'm just
but
saying,
that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and Suzuki makes TVs and fucking four-wheelers and home electronics,
Yeah, and
too.
those are cars.
So, yeah, TV's a great car. Exactly, my Suzuki television. Yamaha, that's a brand. I got a Yamaha piano in my room right now, and there's a Yamaha dirt bike back home in my uncle's garage.
And depending on...
there's a lot of difference between those.
And depending on what you're doing with them, they are the
Not
same
soup.
thing.
Yeah, but in no world would I take, just because I'm sledding down a hill on my Yamaha music keyboard here, that doesn't make it a dirt bike, though. You know what I mean? Like,
No, but it makes you fucking cool.
it does make me cool. It does. Especially if I had a can of SpaghettiOs in my hand going down the hill, too.
All right. I had fun today. And I won. I won the argument. And that's all that matters.
It's fine. Gus won your respect, but he also lost a friend today.
But he gained a better friend.
You know what? Yeah, fair trade. Oh, boy.
I'm never talking to you again, so this is a good...
What a fun sign-off to a friendship, honestly.
This is a good chapter in our life.
SpaghettiOs argument determined it.
Exactly. Well, honestly, thank you guys so much for having me on. This was super fun. I hope we can do more stuff on Twitch and YouTube and everything else. And I look forward to being able to see you guys actually in person once all this nonsense is over. So
absolutely, that would be fun.
We will definitely hang out.
And SpaghettiOs.
There will be absolutely no doubt. Thank you for being on, Gus. Is there anything? It feels obligation to. Yeah, do you want to plug anything? Do you want to tell people about?
Oh yeah, this camera. Tell the people. No, I mean I'm just doing sketches and stuff on YouTube. You can look up Gus Johnson if anyone checks me out. That's my thing. So thanks for having me on.
It was a pleasure. You were a joy. Thank you for being on.
So much fun.
You bet.
Bye.